we got a lot to talk about, but today we're really going to focus on the importance of why Hona, like why we created it, what's the benefit, why another supplement, you know, how is it different? What's it do for you that nothing else is out there that and main reason why we created it was because we couldn't find anything. You couldn't find anything, but really we're fiber fans. We're on Team Fiber. Mm-hmm. And we're talking all natural, real fiber that your body needs and that nobody gets enough of. And so we're kind of here to talk about that today.
Yeah. So, you know, supplements are huge. Everybody's trying to sell you something. And supplements are only useful if you're deficient in something. So unless you go and do testing and you figure out what you're specifically deficient in, people are taking all sorts of things that their bodies don't need, or they're over supplementing where, you know, you take tons of vitamin C and you don't need it at all. What does your body have to do with that? It's flushing it out. You know, sometimes it's bad for you if you're over supplementing with certain things. You know, your body has a hard time processing and getting rid of it.
Too many carrots, you turn orange.
Yeah, you'd have to eat a lot of carrots, but I did know a lady that she was drinking carrot juice. So, you know, but everyone is deficient in fiber is what I learned is, you know, I mean, congratulations if you are getting enough because you are one in millions that's getting enough fiber in your diet. Men need 50 at least a day, women close to 30. And nobody's doing that, especially with our American diets. Yeah. We're horrible.
I was going to ask, is that a global thing, or do you think it's just a United States thing?
It's definitely United States. It's definitely Europe. It's definitely any westernized.
First world.
First world problems.
Yeah, okay.
First world problem for sure.
Ultra processed foods. We don't do what our ancestors used to do. And so, you know, we are a supplement. Hona is a supplement. You know, you get 7 grams of soluble fiber, which obviously is not your daily allowance. This is not all you should be taking.
And some insoluble in there.
And insoluble.
Close to 8 grams
and
total.
Then some awesome other ingredients that we put in there because, you know, why not? If you're getting your fiber in, why not get all these other things that we think that you need too? But that's what it is it's a supplement to add to. So you definitely should still be eating whole grains and vegetables and fruits and all these things because that's going to make you feel good and it's going to help. But this is going to fill the gap. Yeah.
And the cool thing about Hona and why we created it is it's not just another fiber like Metamucil, you know, or whatever else is out there that's, you know, just psyllium husk. It's a high-end fiber that we have 2 sources of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We
Correct.
have chicory root and we also have psyllium husk, but it's also a fine grade. So you don't there's no grittiness. There's no, you know, you don't feel it in your mouth or your throat. It's really smooth. It's really clean. But then it's also combining it with the greens, our organic greens blend, the essential organic greens blend that we find that really makes a difference. We're not just giving you pepper-sized pieces of, you know, nothing in one supplement. You're actually getting good, you know, there's tons of potassium, magnesium. There's all kinds of greens that you're getting with our product.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a note on that too is, you know, there's all sorts of greens products out there, which I think taste disgusting. Ours tastes good. But if you don't have the fiber, those greens, you're not absorbing them.
Yeah, that's one of the most interesting things I found out when we started this was just, you think you're getting greens, you think you're getting a healthy amount of fiber because that's normally where people go to for fibers, your broccolis and whatnot. And so I was really shocked to find out that there's like some of our competitors only have 2 grams of insoluble fiber in their whole serving, even though it's 100% greens. So clearly that's a missing element that is super essential. If you're taking greens without the fiber, your body's not absorbing it properly anyway. And like you said, Eliza, it's just mostly flushing a lot of that out.
Yeah. So that's a $3 serving that your body's flushing. Congratulations.
Yeah. Seriously.
On some of them.
So what does Hona fiber specifically do? What does Hona fiber and green specifically do when you take it? What are some of the benefits that you get that you'll notice, you know, and you'll actually feel?
So I can talk about in general, there's a weight factor because obviously fiber fills you up. It makes you feel full. Mm-hmm. So you just tend to eat less, which is nice. Glucose, it lowers your blood glucose. We have diabetics that just claim this is their savior.
No, it's
we've actually seen it.
Right.
We've seen it. It was shockingly effective.
Yeah, they proved it. I know blood sugar was at 150 took
Yeah.
a whole serving of Hona fiber and greens. Within 30 minutes, it had dropped 25 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's proof in the pudding. Like it is like fiber.
We have that video on our social if anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try
It was
Hona.
crazy.
So yeah, fiber lowers your blood sugar,
Yep.
right? And we know that having high blood sugar is probably one of the leading causes to cancer, all the cardiovascular diseases, all those things. So in essence, taking in fiber every day and getting enough fiber is essential to being healthy and longevity and feeling good and avoiding all those mortality diseases.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
comorbidities.
Well, you spoke to weight. I mean, just cleaning out your bowels alone. I mean, I think I could be corrected if I'm wrong, but I think it's 5 to 15 pounds of waste within your intestinal lining that can be flushed out with a proper fiber supplementation.
Yeah, you're right. Because on any given day, we eat between 3 to 8 pounds of food a day, like an average
It
human.
feels like a lot of food.
You know, that's a lot of food. And if you go multiple days, like we talk about that when people travel, right? People travel, they get off their mode. They usually don't have a bowel movement, right? Within
or not a very strong one.
yeah, or a very strong one. You know, it's just being uncomfortable in a different environment. It's just, I don't know why it is. It's like a human condition. People don't go poo like when they're just in a new place, a new location, new toilet. You're not used to it.
I feel like it's the routine because even on the weekends, my routine is different. And I actually,
Change of food, right? Because now you're not at home cooking, making your food. You're eating
we usually
out.
eat pizza Friday night. I stay up super late doing my thing. And then I get up at a weird time that's not normal for the other 5 days of the week. And I find that actually affects my regularity.
Oh yeah, your body's going, what the crap?
Yeah.
This is literally
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, and so you're not having a poo. You're not going to the bathroom. And so there's people we talked about, that have been on Hona fiber and greens and they take it with them in our travel packs because they get off once they get off the plane, the car, wherever they're going, they're off to the races. They're taking it. They're having a bowel movement, that day versus they talked about going 3 days. If you go 3 days without having a bowel movement on a vacation or trip, you got 15 pounds of crap in you. Literally, you got 15 pounds of crap in you.
Yeah.
I just went on a cruise and like the amount of food people eat on a cruise, I bet it's more than 15 pounds trapped up in there.
Yeah. I mean, if you've ever gone like on a backpacking trip or camping, nobody goes to the, usually within.
Don't want to.
It's so hard. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, that's one of the added benefits of Hona fiber and greens is our product. It helps you be regular.
Yeah.
And it cleans you out. It cleans your intestine. It cleans your gut out. And that's essential.
Yeah. So gut health.
Health.
That's one of the major things that fiber does. And when you have all that stuck inside of you, your energy levels too just are down. Your emotions, your moods, everything is suppressed.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think, your gut is definitely connected to your brain.
Yeah, for sure.
So if your gut is off, your brain is off for sure.
So if your body's focused on trying to digest things that it can't or process whatever you got hanging around in there, it's not funneling proper nutrition to your brain, you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I also think too with like Hona fiber and greens with the fiber, Hona, it keeps your blood sugar and moderates your blood sugar levels. And if you get big blood sugar spikes, that causes energy levels to vary big time, where you get that drowsiness, where you get that tired, because you go eat a processed meal, and all of a sudden your blood sugar will spike. When you take fiber and greens, Hona fiber and greens before a big meal, it decreases that blood sugar spike by upwards of 40-50%.
Yeah, it just regulates it.
And so the fiber actually goes in and makes it so your body doesn't uptake as much and turn it into glucose.
Yeah.
Which is essential for maintaining energy levels, because we all know if you have high blood sugar spikes, your energy levels go down and it causes serious issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look at all those benefits in just a single scenario, right? You drink fiber before you drink, before you eat. You're going to eat less.
Yep.
You're going to manage your glucose levels. You're going to manage your energy.
You're going to feel more full.
You're going to feel more full. It's just like a lot of positives in just one.
And you're going to go poo.
and you're going to have a regular movement, and you're going to feel nice and empty.
Yeah, and I mean, all of us have taken so many supplements. You've taken,
tried everything.
we've taken vitamin D. That's a very important supplement. Nobody gets enough, especially in the wintertime when there's less sun exposure. It's cold. We live in a colder climate up here, and so it's just you're not out. It's cloudy. You're just not getting enough. So taking a vitamin D is a really important supplement to add to your regimen of supplements. But at the end of the day, there's nothing more important in our world than fiber and having enough fiber.
Well, and ironically, if you think about the sources of fiber, that's where a lot of the vitamins are too.
Yeah.
So you're deficient in these things because you're not eating the fibrous foods.
Yeah.
So get more fibrous foods, which is real food, and then add in Hona fiber and greens.
Yeah.
And
We didn't even talk about the inflammation and bloating.
That's what I was going to mention. I just like, it's anti-inflammatory and it's anti-bloating, and our whole ingredient blend is somewhat based around anti-inflammation. I mean, the astaxanthin in there is anti-inflammation. The chicory root, the fiber itself is anti-inflammation. Yep. So many of our ingredients are specifically linked to both anti-inflammatory properties as well as immunity properties.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and why is that so important? Because everything we eat causes an inflammation response almost. In our processed foods that most people eat, when you eat that and take it in, it causes inflammation. Anything that has carbohydrate automatically causes inflammation to be processed. Yeah. And so the way that you offset that is with higher fiber food.
Yeah.
And with supplementing with fiber.
Yeah.
Yep. Another thing is cancer. Like the rate of cancers, just digestive cancers, colon cancer, stomach cancer, intestinal, everything has skyrocketed. And that's what fiber does, is fiber cleans out your colon and it allows the walls and the cells in the colon to repair themselves.
Because it feeds.
Because it feeds.
Yeah, that was one interesting thing that you told me, Justin, is that cancer eats glucose.
Yeah.
Like
that's how you feed cancer.
I had no idea. Glucose. That totally blew my mind. I mean, I knew glucose affected a lot of things, but I had no idea that that's like cancer food.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting.
I mean, glucose is necessary. Your muscles need it. Your body needs it. It also gets it from, the ketosis stage. So you don't necessarily need to eat carbs to get that energy level. You can get it from your ketones that get produced in your liver. And those ketones are a better energy source. And obviously you talk about people that go keto and are more on the low carb diet, that they have more clarity in their brain. They have just more energy levels, are more stable and at a static level. But at the end of the day, your body does need an energy source, whether it gets it from glucose or ketones. And you definitely want to avoid glucose and having tons of glucose blood sugar high levels running through your veins.
Well, and it's the source that we've been eating too.
Yeah.
We don't eat the sources of fiber and of glucose that we used to. The carbs, we're eating simple carbs now instead of complex.
Right.
So
could you give some examples of complex carbs for those who may not know?
Just grains, anything that's got people say brown rice over white rice, and whole grains, vegetables, obviously, beans, lentils, things like that. Just things that are, natural.
So things that are harder for your body to break down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big grain fan to say grains, because that falls into a lot of things, wheat and all that stuff. And obviously we know there's a lot of people out there that have celiac issues and have issues with grains and all that. We're not big on oats, those, a cup of oats in the morning causes as much blood sugar spike as drinking.
I read that recently. I was shocked.
Yeah. So
oats was like the go-to healthy for a long time. I used to mix oats in my protein.
Well, and it depends how you're eating them. If you're just getting a bowl of oatmeal and putting milk and sugar on it, obviously. But if you're eating, you have some eggs, you have a little bit of oatmeal with some berries and some, it's
you made that berry oatmeal recipe.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yep.
And there's fiber. There's tons of fiber in oats, and so
it's just about managing how much you're eating.
Exactly.
You don't want 2 cups of oats. You want like half a cup of oats.
Yeah, and eating it separately all by itself too. It's like combining it. It's like, when you take vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, and it really gets absorbed and uptaked as long as it's taken with some fat. So it's like, anytime you take a vitamin or a supplement, you should take it with fiber and some fat, because then it just will get absorbed and uptaked better in general.
Yeah.
So for a good source of fats, that would be like nuts?
Fish oil.
Fish oil?
Fish oil.
So take your D3 capsule and your vitamin D capsule at the same time?
Yeah. Because fish oil is huge for inflammation as well. Like we take fish oil.
I love fish oil. Super good for the brain too.
Yeah, for sure. And getting that the omegas, fatty acids in fish oil, at the right levels.
Yeah.
We can talk on another episode all about that, but
Yeah, but nuts, seeds, all those things are natural and easy to do, and what we used to do.
What about from our meat? Like if we're eating steaks or...
I'm a carnivore guy.
Yeah.
I'm team carnivore.
There's a lot of fat in that. Is that the right kind of fat?
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, like it's just, everybody used to be like anti-red meat and this and that. And it's like,
I'd say it causes heart disease.
Yeah. Now it's like it's all the stages are coming out saying how important red meat is. And like all the amount of amino acids, essential amino acids, vitamins, everything that's actually in one. I mean, we eat a lot of like ground bison, and because it's it's been out there on the range feeding, and it's just so good and healthy. I cannot eat I could eat like 2-pound patties of just regular ground beef of in an In-N-Out burger. I can't even eat a full half-pound patty of ground bison because it just has so much more nutrient levels in it.
Dense.
It's so much more filling.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's just like, and even like with elk, we have elk, we have deer, we have venison and elk, and the same thing. I would eat like half the amount of elk and bison versus a pound of beef that's just from a farm or whatever, just because it's so much more dense and nutrient dense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It just fills you up more.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is one of the most controversial subjects, I think, online is diets. And you're going to have we'll have people slam this podcast because, we'll say something against keto or something carnivore or something, and people come all the time, all these keto and carnivores, and they're like, I don't need fiber. Whatever you're saying, those are lies. And
we've had a few comments online about that I thought were very interesting.
But the thing is like you said, if you're doing the carnivore diet and you're eating all these fats, like how is that good for you? Well, because you've cut out all the other fats that most American diets are eating. You're not having the processed junk. You're not having the seed oils. And that's another one is seed oils. Everybody is like so anti seed oil. And they say, when we cut out seed oils, I felt so much better. Well, what did you cut out? You cut out Oreos. You cut out all the processed stuff where the seed oils were. You're not drinking seed oil. Yeah. You're eating it in this processed crap. So it's like a correlation thing. It's maybe not a causation. It's correlation, and you talk about paleo and how people, feel so good. Well, I
felt like garbage on paleo. I did not like it at all. I did paleo for 12 weeks with my wife. And I just have never felt crappier. Yeah. And I know it's good to like have really low sugar diets, but paleo is a 0 sugar diet. And it had weird effects on me. It had weird effects on my sleep, had weird effects on my appetite. I just never felt like I had the energy that I was supposed to have. Yeah. So that's a personal opinion. That was my experience with it.
No, the diets are not for everybody. Yeah. So somebody that's carnivore and is trying to get everybody on the carnivore bandwagon, it's like, it's not going to work for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's better to go natural.
Yeah.
And to cut out processed foods, which is basically what everybody's doing when they go on these diets.
Yeah.
And saying, I feel so good on keto. Well, yeah, for a while.
For a while, right? I loved keto for like 3 months, lost a ton of weight. I was feeling super clear, just like you were talking about. But then it went like the opposite direction where I lost all of my appetite and I couldn't eat, and eating made me really sick. And then I lost like a dangerous amount of weight. And I was having these weird like emotional breakdowns. I didn't feel, it was a very strange experience on keto, but for a long time I was telling everybody, you got to go keto. I'm losing weight. I feel great. I'm super clear.
You notice nobody ever stays on keto? I don't know somebody that's been on keto for like, this is my life now.
I know a lot of people, and the biggest issue with keto is that it's not a sustainable diet, and the bounce back is kind of severe.
Yeah.
You put on weight really fast after you end your keto diet.
Yeah. It's hard to stay in ketosis.
Yeah.
Like it's like a very small window.
So I'm a fan of moderation. I think having a somewhat keto diet, keeping it higher levels of protein and meat.
Extremes are never good.
Extremes are never good, even in dieting. Like I have found that the most sustainable diets that I have ever done are ones where I just practice good meal size and making sure I have mostly healthy things in my diet.
Yeah.
That's when my body feels the best. That's when my weight is usually well managed. It's when I start going, eating too much ice cream or junk food late at night that I start to gain weight,
So tell us how, when you started Hona or started Fiber, tell us what you experienced.
So I talked about it a bit on our first podcast, but the immediate experience was that I I lost a bunch of weight really fast just by cleaning out my bowels, right? Because I just had nothing but junk in there. I eat a lot of junk food. I love junk food. Mm-hmm. I'm like no different than anybody else.
We're human.
Yeah. I love it. I love it for sure. So, but what was most interesting is that I was taking it for breakfast instead of soda. And I just noticed my body feeling better right away. I was sleeping better at night. I was losing weight every single day. I was more satiated, so I wasn't eating as much. Intermittent fasting was super easy. I don't know if I do a true intermittent fasting. I eat dinner between 5 and 7, and then I don't eat lunch until 11 to 1, right? That's my fasting process. And I love the fiber because I would get plenty of fluids, which you need lots of fluids when you're fasting. And then I didn't feel hungry. And so I really loved it. And so I think that combination of things is why I was able to lose weight and feel a lot better about my
well,
my body weight.
I think you said something there that's really important too, is intermittent fasting. You know, that's another diet. That's another way that people do it. And you know what? Is it sustainable? Not necessarily every day should you be doing it, but I think intermittent fasting is a great reset. Because if, let's say, for example, you had a really rough day, you're traveling, a bunch of business meetings, bunch of work meetings, you ate out, you ate big meals, everything like that with everybody. What's one way to get yourself back on track and lower your blood sugar, have that reset? It's fasting the next day. Mm-hmm. It's fasting the next day. And really getting to a point where you're like, oh, okay. I mean, I feel good when I intermittent fast, and I do it probably 3 to 4 times a week.
I do it every day except for Saturday and Sunday.
You know, and that's the nice thing about Hona too, is Hona doesn't kick you out of that fasting ketosis.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it doesn't raise your blood. Like it doesn't have a blood sugar spike. It's only 30 calories, 35 calories a serving, and
no sugar
and everything like that.
Yeah.
So you're getting, the calories are really in the greens that you're getting. And so at the end of the day, it's just, and the fiber obviously makes it so it offsets any carbs that there is, because there's very few carbs in it anyways.
And it has a little bit of natural caffeine. So when you are fasting, when you're waking up, you know, it does give you a little bit of a bump there, but not enough that you're not doing a monster.
I totally notice. Yeah. I take mine, I was taking mine like first thing in the morning. So I'd wake up, get ready, drink a Hona. I've been drinking mine a little later in the morning when I'm starting to feel like I'm dragging. Like I start my mornings pretty early, about 4:30 in the morning, maybe 5. And then probably around 9, I'm starting to feel it, like my brain fog, not making decisions as quickly, having a hard time. Like I do a lot of math at work, having a hard time with my math, keeping everything straight. I'll drink a Hona. It is shocking how much better I feel. And it's almost instant, within minutes.
Yeah.
Within minutes, the natural guarana caffeine has taken a hold. So I'm feeling more alert. My belly's full, so I'm not feeling hungry or irritable.
Yep.
That has been one of my favorite things about us creating this product, is that I didn't get that from Metamucil or Top Care psyllium husk products. I didn't feel hungry, which was super, super helpful. But I didn't have that clarity, alertness.
Yep.
Boost.
I honestly, like, I know a lot of people, and I've definitely been one of them. I would use Mountain Dew or Monsters. A lot of people use coffee for this scenario. I have found that the Hona gives me everything I need to continue my morning in a fruitful way without interrupting my intermittent fast plan, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I love about it.
I don't feel like also it hides the fact that I'm tired. Like I feel like that's what lab caffeine does, or like, you know, anything soda, Monsters, any of these things, is it just kind of hides it for a while until I crash.
Right.
And then it's still there. But with Hona, I just feel like it's like this boost of energy that just sort of sustains. And what I noticed, like the biggest things besides the bloating and my digestion and all of these, is mood.
Yeah.
And the help that it has with mood and depression is amazing. Fiber. And more studies are coming out now about fiber and brain health and just depression and mood and all of that. And it's, I mean, it made a big difference.
Yeah. There's no lie. I don't know if it's attributed, but it feels like it is. But I have been more emotionally stable for more of the day. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you guys, but I know we all work super hard. We all get up early. We work out. We work really long hours. We have families. Yeah. By 5 or 6 o'clock, I mean, I'm smoked. But my ability to hang on emotionally through those last hours of the day have been better since I started taking fiber consistently.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just been really good for my mental health.
Well, the other thing too is it just tastes so freaking good.
I know.
Drink it.
Like literally, like I had some Hona before we started this podcast, and I sat there and I go, damn, that tastes good.
Yeah.
You know, like it tastes good and it's real flavoring and it's real fruits and it tastes good.
Yeah.
It's all natural. It's an organic. Everything's from Mother Nature. That's part of the thing I love about it because, you know, at the end of the day, I didn't realize how big a deal fiber was. I didn't realize it was a carbohydrate, and I didn't realize, but it's a carbohydrate our body can't digest. But the one cool thing to me that stands out to me about our product, Hona Fiber and Greens, is when we were listening to the studies and the doctors talking about fiber, and I can't remember the doctor's name, but he talked about he deals with mental degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, MLS.
All my largest fears.
You know, all those. I mean, obviously it's personal because my dad passed away from Parkinson's coming up on 6-7 years now. And, you know, I saw how he went from diagnosed at age 52, 53 till where he passed away and how just horrible that is just, man, it sucks. Like, it just sucks. I feel for anybody that is in that spot, that has been diagnosed, that it's come, you know, family members. It's just a tough, it's a horrible disease. And one of the common characteristics that every patient or person that had been diagnosed with a mental degenerative disease was they had constipation.
That's fascinating.
Constipation.
Yep.
100%.
100% constipation.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying Hona's going to solve all these issues, but how do we prevent it? How do we push it off? And obviously being regular and having good bowel movements, that's one of the benefits I love about this. Like, I've never had better bowel movements in my life. On a schedule, knowing and even if I eat something horrible, if I take some Hona Fiber Greens, my gut's hurting. Even our daughter, our 17-year-old daughter, she'll go out with friends and go eat crappy nachos or whatever, and she'll come home, my stomach's hurting. She takes a little half scoop just because we don't, you know, it's in evening or whatever, and we don't want to have a full scoop, and she's all of a sudden feels good. And she's like, okay, I'm okay now.
I need her to call my daughter. My daughter has stomach issues, and she just won't drink it.
I know.
I can't get her to.
Some maturity.
Yeah.
Give her a few years. And
Well, she's in her mid-30s and she needs to deal with it.
What's more important? Yeah. Another thing that I love, speaking about the taste, is that it is sweet, which, you know, some people aren't prepared for because most fiber supplements are not sweet. And even some of them are like nutty and spicy. But the reason...
Spicy?
Yeah.
Gross.
I know. But the reason that we went with a sweet, and it's stevia, so it's you know, it's not going to spike your blood sugar, but the taste of it curbs cravings because you get this sweetness and you no longer want, you know, a Diet Coke or, you know, any sugar,
bread,
anything.
or
Reese's.
It just gives you that little bit where your body's going, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I love that too. The flavor is one of my favorite things, and the sweetness of it. I mean, I'm partial to sweets, you know?
Yeah, me too.
So, which I think a lot of people are. So I really enjoy it. We've had a few people comment that it's too sweet for them. If you run into that, I'd recommend just watering it down a little bit.
You just add more water.
Yeah, just
concentrated it.
Yeah, just thin it out.
Yeah, you need, I mean, this, you know, I drink that's full of water right now, but that's how much I drink right there, you know, and it doesn't taste too sweet. It doesn't taste not sweet. It's a good flavor.
It's pleasant.
It's very pleasant.
It's a great way to get your first 24 ounces of water of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. So if you haven't noticed, folks, we are on Team Fiber.
Yeah.
That's the team we're definitely, and we want you to join our team. We want you to come on over and join Team Fiber and get yourself some Hona. You know, we're on all the major places where you can purchase. We're on Amazon. You can get, you know, Hona Fiber Greens in a seven travel packs right here.
You should pull that open and show.
And, you know, you can get this, comes with, you know, our travel packs, easy to rip open. You're traveling, whatever. It's great to have. Give us a gift.
People take those to Africa. And they were loving it. It's the only thing that got them through their trip.
Yep.
Yeah, you were saying that. That was a fun story.
Yeah.
And then we have the full month supply. You know, it comes with a scoop. It's just the powder. So that's your best price point, obviously, for the product. And then we also have the 15 count pack. It comes in a bag just like this with the individual servings.
Yeah.
And so.
One thing I'd just like to point out, since we're just talking about all things Hona today, is that we get a lot of comments about the drink getting thick. Right. So this is a great platform to just point that out. So if anybody's not aware out there, psyllium husk, it absorbs the water and it becomes gelatinous. That is, any fiber product ever in existence is not unique to us. So that's why you'll see in the instructions, and we have some videos out there about mixing it with ice cold water or even with ice, which is how Eliza likes to take it. And I actually did that recently, and it's super good. And for some reason, it's actually better.
It's refreshing.
It is really refreshing. But if you're having a problem with it getting thick, either mix it a little thinner or a little colder, or drink it a little faster.
Yeah.
You're going to find that it gets gelatinous, but that's any product you buy that has psyllium husk in it is going to have that effect. But the whole point of that is
soluble fiber. Yeah.
Soluble fiber is you want that to do that in your stomach because it gets nice and thick. It expands. It makes you feel full. It drags through your intestinal tract, pulling all that junk with it. Mm-hmm. It feeds the bacteria on that gelatinous substance. And so it does kind of suck that's what psyllium husk does, but drink it a little faster.
That's its job.
Yeah, let it do its job.
And
let
it's
it
not
do
like
its
it
job.
happens immediately.
Yeah.
No. I
People
mean,
walk away for 20 minutes and then they're shocked.
Yeah, I mix mine in the same amount of water, and I can drink it for probably about 30 minutes before it starts really getting thick. So I mean, that's a plenty of time to drink 24 ounces of water.
Yeah,
Just don't leave it.
If you're going to do about half that size, it's going to thicken in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll do that if I'm just going to chug it.
Yeah.
Like
if you're jumping in the car, you're going to drink it quick in the car, you're going somewhere. Yeah, sure. But if you think you can just fill it up, you take one sip, walk away, you're working at your desk, you're doing this stuff busy, it'll thicken. But that's the beauty of it. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point that out.
Thanks. That's a really good point. I think that's everything. Okay. Is there anything else we missed, or you guys want to share about fiber or Hona?
I feel like I could go on all day, but I think we hit all the points. I would love to one day to just kind of go through our ingredient panel.
Yeah.
And just talk about why we picked each ingredient specifically. But I definitely would like folks to know that we were very specific about the ingredients that we picked. We took a lot of care about the effects that they have on your mind and on your body and how they can benefit you. So just know that when you're reading that fact panel, everything there has a purpose, and it's all about you being healthier.
Yeah. So everybody come on over, get on Team Fiber, get on Team Hona. You'll find us on TikTok Shop. We're on all the Instagram, Facebook, Amazon, and our website, tryhona.com. And look forward to everybody's feedback in trying it, and we hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Thank you.